Good morning to all of you. I am also belong from the National Institute of Occupational Health. I am working as a medical scientist. My basic background is MD PSM, and I have additional degree of AFIH. So since 6 years, I am working in ICMR Institute, National Institute of Occupational Health. My today's topic for talk is based on that many of the industries are situated in the critical polluted area, and many of the workers and their children are residing nearby vicinity, and they have schools around the same area. But we are not knowing that what is the health status of their children who are residing nearby vicinity area, whether there is any permanent harm to their respiratory functions or not because of the air quality, which is almost compromised in the critical polluted area. So I have carried out a study in a prospective manner. It is a first of its kind of study in India, because some positive or small evidence are available that respiratory functions are compromised, whether it is questionnaire based or whether it is pulmonary function based, but the long term study is not available with a good study design, which is a prospective study design. So in my study I have tried to carry out a prospective study design in which I have followed up children or the cohort of the children of around 800 students in a control area as well as the compromised air quality area for a whole entire 1 year of the school, and we try to see that how the pulmonary function test is behaving with the children's, and also what is the prevalence of the URTI and LRTI, which is the common defined respiratory illnesses. What is the burden of these diseases? What are the incidences of the diseases? Whether it is changed with the climate, whether it is changed with the season, whether it is changed with the seasonal change of the air quality. So this is my overall objective, and we are not knowing that whether any harm carried out to the vital capacity of the lung when the child become adult of a worker age group, whether they are having a compromised lung function since childhood or not, we are not knowing. And of course there are some confounders always, like type of kitchen they are using, type of fuels they are using, type of nutritional status they have, that will also somewhat affect the spirometry function or the lung functions. So by study design and by mathematical modeling and regression analysis, I have tried to rule out these factors also later on. So my prime objective of the study is to measure the quality of air in the school premises, ambient air as well as the indoor air. So we have measured the seasonally indoor as well as the outdoor air quality with the standard methodology, and we have tried to evaluate the pulmonary function of the children throughout the years and periodic basis. So we have taken in our study 3 study schools where we have enrolled around 600 children, and the similarly 14 kilometers away with the aerial distance, which is a relatively pleasant area in the South Gujarat, where we have enrolled around 4 schools where 200 children are enrolled as a comparative groups. We have tried to ensure that their anthropometric parameters, means height, weight and BMI is comparable with both the groups along with their age. So we have taken these children from 5, 6 and 7 standards, because from 8 standards onwards the school will be different. So, and with our research knowledge we are knowing that after more than 9 years a child can comply for the spirometry test. So purposefully we have taken more than 9 years of children. There is a dropout during our study. So ultimately at the year end we are able to follow 552 children from the study area and 187 children from the control area. We have evaluated respiratory functions through spirometry. We have done every week, every fortnightly we have asked the same children that whether you have suffered from URTI or LRTI. We have tried to make it through teachers, through their parents, through the phone calls and through the personal visits. So we have tried to manage to have entire year data. Simultaneously in every season we have measured the indoor as well as the outdoor air quality. With using the statistical analysis, we have used additionally regression analysis to rule out the other confounders like tobacco smoke exposure, type of kitchen, and type of fuels they are using. So first slide is about the quality of air. So particulate matter 10 is about 6 times higher in this area compared to the national ambient air quality standards, and in comparison to the control, it is 3 times higher. If we see the gaseous pollutants like carbon monoxide, ammonia, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and ozone, all are higher at the study sites compared to the control sites. If we say about the indoor air quality, the indoor air quality of the classroom is also compromised. It is 2 to 2.5 higher particulate matter concentration within the classroom air. Now, what we have done, we have tried to derive a equation that how much an incidence to occur to a children per child per year. Means a single child is suffering how many episodes of URTI and LRTI in entire year, and we have tried to compare with the study and the control sites. So this is the graphical presentation that the red line is highlighting that about the study group, and blue line is highlighting about the control group. So it is obvious that URTI and LRTI is also a communicable disease, but if we see the overall trend, the trend of URTI and LRTI is throughout higher on an average in the study group. Even if we see the statistical part, that a child who is residing in the control area compared to the study area have a 2.5 episodes lesser in the URTI as well as in the LRTI groups, and it is also a statistical significant. If we see the pulmonary function parameters, so as I have already told that we have tried to match the anthropometry and other parameters which can influence the spirometry findings. So anthropometric parameters and age are almost similar for both the groups. If we see the pulmonary function parameter have a two distinct part. One is the ratio, FEV1 and FVC ratio, which is representing the larger airway function, conducting part of the larger airway function. Similarly, the FEV1, FEV1 25 to 75%, which mimics the smaller airway functions. So both the things are compromised in the study children. The mean of this group is compromised in the study groups compared to the control group. If we see the figures in a pie chart, the 2 times higher obstructive or restrictive diseases are observed among the study group children compared to the control group children. So now this is the last slide where with using the mathematical modeling and regression analysis, we have tried to rule out the confounders also, like fuel exposure or the environmental tobacco smoke exposure or the passive smoke exposure or the type of kitchen or what kind of fuel they are using in the kitchen. This can also be the confounders. Even the family history of the parents about the asthma, it is also a confounder. So what we are able to find out that the only confounders which is influencing is the family history of the children. So children with having a family history of asthma, they are also having a higher chance. But on the same study area, the children who is residing in the study area, they are having a higher chance of having an obstructive and restrictive disease. Like a children who is residing in the study area, they are having a 16% higher compromised pulmonary function for the FEV1 FVC. Similarly, 190 ml air loss is per children is observed who is residing in the study area compared to the control area. So based on this finding, now what we are doing, we are trying to develop a program with the state government that we can identify some pockets or some PHC areas where we can impart some screening tools to school children, where we can screen pulmonary functions or the respiratory functions of the children, where we can identify early any kind of respiratory compromise. So if we are able to identify early such kind of compromise, we can channelize to the nearby hospitals, and we can improve their respiratory health. It is all from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, doctor, for that presentation. We have time for one quick question. Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead, sir.
Yes, both the site schools are the government schools, and the socio-economic profile is already matched. So purposefully for this study, we have taken the children who is residing within the 5-kilometer radius of this area. So because of the limitations of the time, I have not mentioned these things, but within the radius of 5 kilometers area, we have enrolled the children.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I don't have a question. I congratulate you.
Thank you, sir.
It's a very nice study, and we must extend our occupational health from workers to their family members, so there's a good step in this direction. And I only hope that you will convert it into a longitudinal possibility study. And
Yes, sir.
that will be a great help. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.